Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Creators Lounge podcast. I am your host, Ben Jaye, and we have an amazing episode that is about to unfold. We've been so excited to record this that we were literally going back and forth every day, saying to like, "I'm so excited! When are we recording?" We're like, "Let's do it this time." You know, we went back and forth. Finally got a day set up and everything, and so here we are. All right. Give us an introduction. What is your name? Where are you from? What do you do?
What is up, guys? Actually, I treat my fans as lions because you know why? I look like a lion. Okay. Yeah, so basically, my name is Strybo. So, yeah, it's not Storybo or Strybo, it's Strybo, which means that rhymes with lie ho, try bro. Sometimes people call me try bro to roast me because people love to roast me. What can I say?
Awesome. And instead you make music primarily. Is there anything else that you do as well you want to mention?
Oh, yeah, I love to cook. I love to do some graphic design stuff. I love to sing in the shower. Like, it's so relaxing. Like, you're washing yourself and you're like, yeah, you're making a concert in there, so funny.
Absolutely.
Then you spend like 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm a rock star.
30 minutes?
You're not a rock star.
Maybe more than that?
No. Actually, I like to save water.
Yeah,
and time
that is true. I try to be more conscious of that.
Yeah, it's always 15 minutes for me. A shower,
That's right.
Always 15 minutes. Yeah.
Well, Strybo, thank you so much for making time to jump on today. Let's jump into it. Like, to begin with, I put the numbers down right here. I'm gonna read them back to us, just so everyone kind of knows like how successful you are with everything you've done. 2 million streams across platforms, even more than that actually. Almost 1.5k subscribers on YouTube, 73,000 monthly listeners on Spotify this month alone, over 7,000 followers on Instagram. People should already know who you are, but for anybody who doesn't, let's take it back in time. Very beginning, where did this all start? What is the origin story of Strybo?
Okay, so the name Strybo comes from a thing that you have in the ear. Okay, so it's called in Portuguese tribo. I don't know how it's called in English, but then I'll send it to you. So yeah. So basically, it's like a bone that every time that hears a sound, it does like boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a scientist, bro. I'm a scientist. Everything has a meaning behind. Yeah. So what I did was to add an S before the T and then drop the I and replace the I for a Y. And here we are, Strybo.
Damn, that's wild. There's so much thought that you put into that, adjusting it to be exactly what you wanted. How interesting.
Yeah.
And then as far as music production, then have you always been making music, or was that something that you picked up in middle school, high school, or something?
I've always loved to, listen to music. I've always enjoyed. Okay, so I've always had the interest to make music, but I just started 6 years ago, so yeah.
How intriguing. Give us a quick look at your I was gonna ask this about the shower actually, because you talked about singing in the shower. I'm so curious about two things now. First of all, what's on the soundtrack for your shower playlist? But then secondly and more importantly, what are your musical inspirations?
Okay, for the track list for my shower, rock and roll, mainly Joan Jett, Van Halen. What else? I listen to so many artists
1980s.
Yeah, I'm totally 80s. I'm totally 80s,
very nice.
especially rock and roll. By the way, I don't know if you know Joan Jett. She's completely badass woman. Like, she's the one who sang I love rock and roll.
So
yeah.
Bad Reputation.
And the other one.
Bad Reputation.
What?
Don't give it.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. Oh god.
Bad Reputation.
So many. That's my childhood.
And the other one.
That's my childhood. My dad was,
really?
Yeah, my dad was
Wow.
a huge fan of like 80s rock and roll music. So I always grew up listening to 70s, 80s music. Yeah, so I'm with you on that.
That's why I wear black and these wristbands
I've got
here.
nothing but black guns,
Yeah.
a little bit of ice down here, so let's go.
High five, bro.
Let's go. Oh
Yeah.
man, this is too much fun.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, music unites us all, basically. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Actually, I was thinking more people in the rock and roll scene. Oh, Queen. I love Queen. What else? Van Halen, I've already talked about before. AC/DC. What else? There's too many.
So many, right? So many. So then I'm assuming that if that's like your shower playlist, then that must be like your musical inspiration as well, just for like creating and making music also, right? Okay.
Yes.
But how did you get into like because even looking back at your early music, a lot of it was like heavy EDM or trap music, things of that nature. When did you kind of make that crossover from rock and roll music to like EDM music?
It's funny because I've always listened. I still listen rock and roll. I rarely listen EDM, actually.
No kidding.
So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people. For example, my friends Corella, they don't listen EDM at all.
Really?
And they are part of EDM as well.
They're one of the biggest.
You know,
acts.
Corella.
They're one of the biggest names in EDM. I mean, hell yeah, they are.
Because I think when you don't listen only to what you do, and you listen, outside of what you do, you have more inspiration. Like, for example, I don't just listen to rock and roll. I love jazz, for example. Actually, I created like a subgenre.
Exactly.
Yeah, soul step, which is a mix between jazz and future bass, but I have another track that adds the dubstep. So
I love
yeah.
it. I love it. No, Debbie, I love
I love to be
that.
creative.
I know, right? And especially because like, and again, this is like my opinion. People have told me like this, they disagree. They have like their own take on it and everything. But like you said, if you're living inside of one specific genre, groupthink can start to happen. You start to take the same ideas from what everybody else is doing. You start to make the same kind of sounds that everybody else is making. But whenever you can approach it from that outside perspective of like, oh, I love to listen to lo-fi, but I want to make trap music. Oh, I love to listen to jazz, but I want to make dubstep. Like, you bring a whole new flair to it. It's completely like different and has different inspirations, different styles, approaches. So I absolutely love what you're talking about. And I love that water bottle. Let's go.
2 liters and 5, yeah, actually.
2.5
Can you
liters.
read?
Okay, I can see it. I got 2 liters here. So
Oh.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love to drink water. Actually, it's my favorite drink.
Easy.
And then after is cappuccino, and then it's orange juice. So yeah. Oh, yo! If I ever drink that much, I've had diarrhea.
Oh my god. But no, I love it though. Like water, coffee, juice. Like it's pretty much the same for me. Yeah, water and coffee in the top 2.
Yeah. And imagine, like, you're sitting on the toilet, and then yeah, you can make beats with that, you know?
Hey, inspiration is everywhere. Inspiration is everywhere. Strybo, you as far as I know, you live in a kind of like rural area of Portugal. I'm really curious how that has affected your creativity and your inspiration.
Yeah, I live in a mountain, so sometimes I steal samples from nature, you know. that and rain and stuff like that. Actually, the thing was like chirp.
Okay, like birds.
From birds. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love nature. Actually, I prefer to live in in the mountains than being in the city, because I think the city, it's too polluted, it's too noisy. I don't like too much noise in one place. Living in there, yeah. No for me. Yeah.
Oh, I find it so interesting. I love it. But I mean, a lot of the producers I've been talking to lately have been saying the same thing. They really like to be out in nature as a way to recharge or a way to clear their heads or get like some more clarity and everything. So, and I mean, I'm the same way as well. I am lucky. I get to live in Seoul, so I have both city and nature very close by. You know, I live around the concrete jungle, but like if I go 30 minutes this direction, there's gonna be like a mountain there. So, you know, like.
Man, I gotta play there.
You have to. At some point, you have to.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Japan and Korea for sure. Yeah. Because
yeah, go ahead.
Especially because okay, sorry. Especially because I've been talking to a lot of Koreans, so yeah. They're like, Debbie, come here! Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, for those who don't know, my name's Debbie, so...
Yeah, that's true, yeah, exactly.
Nice to meet you guys.
I mean, hey, we can't wait to have you out here in Korea. Like, we're super excited to see you out here in Korea. We're gonna, like, lose our minds when you finally...
Man, yeah, I'm wild, just like a lion. That's why I chose a lion to be my logotype, so
Talk about that more, though, Debbie, because you have consistently talked about, like, lions, like, even way back in the first days of your first singles that you put out. Like, it was always about lions. Like, what is the...
First!
What? Yeah, talk about, like, what's the meaning of a lion to you? Like, how is it relevant?
Oh, physically, because I look like a lion. I have, like, fangs here, okay?
Okay, alright.
Really?
Alright.
Yeah. People are like, they, you know... They see my hair, they look at my hair and say, whoa. And then they look at my teeth and they say, whoa, you look like a lion, girl. Jeez, don't bite me. And I'm like, yeah, whoa. No, I just bite beat, bro. I'm not a cannibal. Actually, I should be a vampire because they say vampires. Actually, I could be, yeah. Vampires are sexy, you know. Yeah, but yeah. But I can be sexy at the same time if I speak in Spanish, I think.
Yeah.
Can we try?
I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm disagreeing.
Yeah. Okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es Debbie, pero mis fans me llamo Strybo. Placer en conocerte.
Debbie, I'm so sorry. You're out here trying to be all like sensual, and I'm like cracking up laughing at this situation.
Yeah, I'm
so
very funny. I've told you before.
Oh man.
Oh, or should be French.
I mean, if you
sexy.
If you speak French, then go for it.
Salut tout le monde. Je m'appelle Debbie. Mes fans m'appellent Strybo. Avec plaisir, je vous dis au revoir, mes amours. Oh gosh, I'm a little bit. Oh gosh.
Without even realizing, you've stolen the hearts of thousands of people just now.
Yo. By the way, I can speak a little bit Japanese. Can you?
Me?
I mean, come on.
A little bit, but I suck so bad at it. I just.
Scotchy desu, scotchy.
Exactly.
Akakui desu.
Oh man. I think, guys, to be honest, I think Debbie's setting the stage for her future live performances. Like, she's gonna like speak several different languages. People are like, she can speak my language. Come to my country. Like, this is all marketing right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Debbie, let's talk about the music.
Yeah, actually. Oh, sorry.
No, I mean,
because before that,
go ahead.
Yeah, because sometimes I troll people, my producer friends, mates, whatever. And sometimes I'm like,
Now, Ni-chan, okite kudasai. Oni-chan, yamete, yamete.
yeah, sometimes I'm like that. We are always roasting each other, and I roast people like that, imitating and speaking in Japanese, imitating the lolly voice. I love it.
Oh, Debbie, I don't know if you realize what you've just done, but you've just put out content of you saying Oni-chan Yamete. And I just have a feeling that I have a feeling that it might be sampled here within a few months or weeks, so just a fair warning. Just a fair warning.
But there's another phrase or sentence, whatever, that people love, especially guys that watch anime, is ara 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 Anechan.
Oh my gosh. Debbie, I feel like you have this ambition to be a voice actress and you haven't admitted that to yourself.
Yes, I want to be. I need to learn how to speak Japanese. Actually, I have a Japanese friend. He says, "Yo, your accent is pretty good. You can imitate the pronunciation and everything." And I'm like, but then I see how they write. They have 3 types: hiragana, katakana, and I'm always forgetting.
Kanji.
Kanji. Yeah. Kanji. It's very hard, especially the kanji one. I'm like, whoa, so many legs in there. Jeez.
You can learn it. You kind of have to like break it down. There's different techniques you can use to learn it more easily. I had there was a person I follow who would break it down into like what this symbol means, and then like combine it with other symbols to make like some kind of like story behind it, so they could be easier to memorize. So, I mean, if you...
I know some like one that looks like that. That means person.
Exactly.
And the other one that I don't know how it is, but it's like a mountain.
Yes. Yama. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And Tokyo.
Yeah.
There is.
You already got it. By the way, real quick, before we kind of move on, like, is there any chance that at some point you're gonna be using your own vocal samples of like you saying "are are" in a song?
Well, sometimes I sing in my tracks, so yeah.
So maybe. Look forward to it, everyone.
So yeah.
All right, Strybo, like,
yeah, I'll do some Japanese. Some Japanese thing.
It'd be so cool.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
Massive trap drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the music for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your sound that you first started making is different compared to now, or what would you say about that?
Yes. Sorry. A burp was coming now. No, it's because my burps are literally like a lion. I don't just do it's like sometimes.
The lion burp.
It's like a word. Yeah. Okay, so basically when I started making progressive house. I love progressive house, especially melodic or mainstream melodic house. Damn it, progressive house. Okay, but now I think I'm much more original. I'm much more true to myself, because people are like, okay, you did this track, didn't you? And I said, yeah, I did, because it has myself in it, my signature sounds. Oh, did you know about the helicopter bass?
Helicopter bass. No.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about it.
Did you listen to Gas Up?
Yes.
The drop like yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I got inspired by helicopters. I was like, yo, I gotta do this in X-Fair Serum. And then I tried and I was super happy with the result. I was like, damn, this is my signature sound already for hybrid trap. You can hear on Gas Up, you can hear on my remixes like How You Like That one, and what else? Oh my god, I have so many songs that I kind of forget what I
Hard to
do.
think about
So
it off the
yeah,
top of the head. But no, exactly. It's super cool, but that's awesome. I love that. Sound design itself is an interesting thing to talk about because there's so much inspiration you could pull into making, any one sound. Okay, so as far as like genres, then your genre, like the genres you work with has definitely changed over the years. What about specific elements of your music? Is there any specific elements of your music that you feel has improved a lot? Whether it's sound design, whether it's like your drums or your I don't know, even your implementation of stuff or your like the project layouts, like what elements of music production has developed the most for you?
sound design and drums, I guess, as well as the structure. I think I'm better in that, so yeah.
I think that everyone wants to get better at those things, Debbie. Like what? So I want to ask you this real quick, just to give the listeners like some advice. Like, what do you think helped you get better at those elements? Was it just complete practice? Was it experience? Was it other people giving you advice? Like, how did those things develop for you? How would someone get better at those elements of music production?
Okay, so first, people always ask how I structure my songs. Stealing others' structure songs that you listen. Like, not still.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Like, for example, some songs start with intro, then break, then build up, then drop, then bridge, and then second break, then a second build up, and then a drop, and then outro. So, okay, it's basically always reference. And then if you want to improve even more, for example, we producers, we spend a lot of time making music, so we have kind of ear fatigue, so we need fresh ears. So yeah, we ask always, hey, can you give me feedback on this? What do you think about the bass, the drums? Are they punchy enough? Are they cutting through the mix? Is it loud enough? Is it too quiet? All the stuff.
Yeah, it's really important to have constructive feedback, from people that you trust or people that can be objective about it, rather than saying like your shit sucks. Like, be able to like say like, well, you could improve this element or improve this part. It's important to have a.
But yeah, actually, I prefer to receive your suck than people saying, "Oh, it's cool, bro." Like, did you even listen to my tune, bro? Seriously, that's not feedback. I'd rather telling me that I'm suck or something, But no, it's like, it's okay, bro. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, woo.
I see. Like
I don't like
toxic,
this
like
kind
the toxic
of
positivity
feedback.
or like the fake. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Be real, right? Be real.
No, I'm not violent, actually. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Here it goes again.
W, you speaking about like developing your sound, developing in terms of what genres you work in. Whenever I was doing preparation for the show, I listened to like all of your music, most of your music, almost all of it. You've done so many genres. You've done, heavy trap stuff. You've even done lo-fi stuff. You've done hip hop instrumentals, indie rock on one track as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious for you. I want to talk about this for a minute because there's so many music producers who are afraid to put out new styles of music or new genres of music that they haven't done before. And they're afraid to lose audience. They're afraid that people are going to hate them. They're going to judge them. The song's not going to perform well. Has that ever crossed your mind when putting out music that's not the same?
No, not at all. Actually, I'm crazy. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm like, if I like it, it's more important that you like it before and first than the other people. If you don't like and you're making it only for other people, then you won't be happy with yourself. So I think, everybody does what people want, So I think that people should go out from the bubble and try to expand their knowledge around music, because I think there's like 100 subgenres in EDM. I'm not even kidding. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And so, yeah. And sometimes when people focus on just one genre, on one type of style, music style, they become, oh my god, I don't have creativity, I'm stuck in here. But if you listen a lot of stuff, for example, I listen to jazz instead of EDM or rock and roll or whatever. So I think that helps me to have more creativity. Sorry. And I'm not stuck.
No, I love it.
Where
I
of course it happens. Yeah.
Completely agree. But Debbie, one more thing. I mean, first of all, I love the fact that, like you said, it's not about validation. It's about doing it because you vibe with it, you agree with it, you love it. I love that. But on the second point as well, something that's really cool about you specifically is that not only have you done it, you've done it successfully. So you've put out music with like many different genres, and yet you've still, hit the numbers everybody wants to hit, or you've reached the audience that everyone wants to reach. If you look at it objectively, and again, it's not because it's important, but rather I want to make a point to anybody who's listening who is still afraid to put out new music. Would you say that you've noticed like a problem with your statistics or like your audience participation whenever you do put out music of a different style or a different genre?
Actually not.
Right.
I've always, had some good reception in every time I do something. Okay, sometimes my music is weird. I'm aware of it. Because I'm weird, okay? I'm not normal, thankfully. Because boring it's annoying.
Yep.
I'm joking. Okay, don't kill me, guys. Okay.
Individuality. We have to be who we are out here, and that's like we'll talk about with the music. Like you have to make music that expresses who you are. It doesn't matter if this guy down the road doesn't like it or that girl in a different country doesn't like it. Like, they're not the one making the music. You got to do it for yourself. You've got to be making the stuff you want to make,
Yeah. Like, okay, some people actually came to my SoundCloud. It was like 2 years ago, I think. I'm not sure because time flies. He said, oh man, seriously, your music sucks. And I was like, okay. Then I talked to him and I was like, thank you for reaching me and thanks for giving your feedback. Is there anything I should do to improve? And he said, okay, I'm really sorry. I was having a bad day and I'm already your fan. And I was like, okay. So, yeah. Because sometimes people react really in a bad way when they receive something negative. And I'm like, okay, we shouldn't, answer the same way, okay?
Oh gosh, Debbie.
I have a new fan, yeah.
They came across as a hater, but actually they just became a fan just like that. Just because, and you don't even have to like do anything. Yeah. All you did was like say a nice thing to them and they became a fan. Oh, Debbie, I love that. I love it. But like, it's so important that we keep that in mind because here's the thing: we're creators, and so we have to live in like the long term. A lot of the time, the audience is living in the short term. So if they hear like one thing, they think it's forever. We know that this is like one point of our huge journey. So if I put out like an oldie song today, like a fucking like 1950s track, like I'm not always gonna be making like songs that are like in the 1950s style, but it's fun to do it that's just for today, like humans are so diverse, there's so much to explore and express, and if we get too caught up on this moment right here about this one single that sounds different or this one hate comment that's like tearing us down, like that's just today. We've still got fucking like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 days of content to be making and everything. So that's awesome. I love that. Debbie, actually, whenever you do look back at like everything you put out, all of your music, all of your content, all of your videos and everything, how do you feel? How do you feel when you look back at everything you've done?
Actually, I should be more present on social media. Yeah, because as a digital marketeer, I know that all brands have the need to have a strong presence on social media, creating content. Like, some people ask me, how do I create content? How do I do this? How I promote myself? How I do this and that? And I'm like, okay, so firstly, you need to create content where you can show how you do the process of your songs, for example. People love that. People love to know how you made the track. For example, the mixing, the sound design, all the stuff. You can also show your face. I don't like it because I'm not really photogenic, So yeah, I'm not.
You're
Seriously, I'm
photogenic.
not.
Okay, Debbie,
I hate cameras.
Look at you right now. You're
seriously.
so alive right now. Like, you're so expressive. I love it. By the way, you've already just for reference, just so you realize this, Debbie. You've already shouted "Oni-chan yamete," okay, on the video. So exactly. Okay? I promise you, if you post that on Instagram tomorrow, you're probably gonna be on the explore page within a few hours. Okay, so.
Oh my god, you'll put myself talking in Japanese as Lolly, Japanese character. Oh my god.
I mean, we're gonna like stuff is gonna happen after we put our two brains together. We're gonna be like some marketing geniuses.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
To rewind back to Debbie, because you said you should be more present on social media, but I mean, like, you've been in the game for like 4, 5, 6 years, and so you do have a lot of content that's already behind you, whether it's your music or your YouTube videos or the other stuff you've done as well. And I am curious about that. You know, obviously you mentioned you're still not that photogenic, so it's uncomfortable for you to post like your face on social media. But you have put out content. Was there any hesitation for you to start sharing content when you first got into like the internet as far as like music production and everything? And again, that could be for Instagram, YouTube, doesn't matter. But was there any hesitation for you to start sharing content digitally?
Yeah, first because the English isn't, it's not my mother language. So we have always an accent. People who don't are born in America or UK or New Zealand. So we have always an accent. So we're like, will people understand me? Is my accent too thick or something like that, And there's the other part that people that don't like cameras like me, or they're shy. I'm actually shy, but I don't show it, so yeah.
I understand. Like,
I don't show it, but I'm actually shy. Yeah, that's why I don't show up too much in social media. So yeah.
Strybo, I mean, same for me though. Like, and again, people don't believe me when I say this, but if you go back and check, like, I can prove it's true. Like, when I first started this podcast, I didn't show my face. If you check the first 7 episodes, I think it was around 6, 7, 8 episodes.
With Stick Eye, yeah, you didn't show.
I didn't show any faces because I was so afraid and so like unconfident to show my face and to be out there on the internet with people seeing my visual appearance. And also, I didn't think I was that attractive, so I was like, I'm ugly. I don't want to show my face, like.
You're cute though.
可愛いです。あなたは可愛いです。
But Strybo, what's the word you said? Sexy and sensual as well. Like, we're all attractive. It's like a mental thing you have to unlock. I mean, like, but Strybo, even about like like an accent. You mentioned about the accent. Like, it's so funny for me to hear you saying that you're unconfident about your accent. Whenever, for me, as a native English speaker, people often don't even know what I'm saying, and I'm like a native speaker. Like, yeah.
For real?
Because like even if you're coming from somewhere like even if you're coming from England or New Zealand or America, like those places have different accents as well. And so like when I lived in America, I had a Californian accent, but I was living in Oklahoma. And people in Oklahoma couldn't understand my Californian accent, even though it's both English. They're like he's speaking too fast. He has a speech impediment. What is he saying right now? So
you're actually okay.
I'm glad it's okay for you, but I guess that's the point, though, right? Is that like so much of insecurity is just mental growth. As far as like accepting who you are and not worrying about everybody who you're not reaching. You know, if there's like a million people in an audience and we can't
totally.
reach 300,000, it's like, I can't care about the 300,000. At least I can reach 700,000, you know? Like, there's so much of it's, I feel like, a mental part of it and everything.
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets about the content you put out before? Is there any, when you look back at everything you have done, is there anything that you're a little bit like, you overthink or that you regret putting out?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Really?
When I
I'm
used to.
so surprised you said yes.
Yeah,
I'm
like.
so curious. I actually thought you would say no. Tell me more.
Actually, yes, because when I first began to do music production, I used to do some giving away some music project files, and they were so suck, seriously. And I was in that time I was, why is everybody ignoring me? I'm putting out something that is free. Why is nobody downloading it? And now I'm listening to the to that project. I was like, oh my goodness, what the hell is that? Yeah, but thankfully nobody can hear that anymore because I deleted it. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
So it's in the trash. It's in the trash can, bro.
Oh gosh, Debbie, that's amazing. That's amazing. Well, it's funny though because I'm gonna ask a follow-up question first of all. How do you deal with regret? You know, obviously looking back at that and you're like kind of like cringe and everything. Like, how do you deal with that regret of like stuff that you wish you hadn't done or stuff you wish you hadn't put out or whatever?
I actually deal pretty well because that shows how much I grew up in the music and improve myself as well. So I think we should take always the positive side of things. Even if it's really bad, you always need to see the good side of it. Because when people think too much about the stuff they made, like, I don't know, 5 years ago, they have deep regrets and they sometimes have depression and stuff like that. And because I think they focus too much on that matter, on the negative side, you know.
Yep.
So and for people that say, oh, but you never had depression. Yes, I had, and I was in a pretty bad shape. So yeah.
No, Debbie, I mean, it's so true. It doesn't even have to be 5 years ago. It could just be like 1 year ago and you already regret like putting it out.
Yeah, even months. Yeah,
even months, you know, like that, like you said, once you start overthinking, you're living in the past and it becomes counterproductive. So you're beating yourself up about something that's already done and over with and you're not there anymore. You're right fucking here. And if you keep living back there, like, you're not going to go forward anymore. You're going to keep digressing and going backwards. Like you said, you had to put the positive spin on it of like, well, at least I learned. At least I grew. You know, at least I can see how I can do better now. That's so much. I love that. It's so cool. Debbie, on the flip side, you know,
something I would
please,
sorry.
Please jump in, Debbie. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like something that I would love to have is actually would be a time machine. That would be awesome.
Really?
Like, yeah, because I could go back and change some stuff. Everybody will do that. Or
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
Live some stuff, yeah.
Really, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it, actually. It's funny, a lot of people would like say they want a time machine to go back and change stuff, but I don't think I would. Debbie, like what stuff would you change? Is it just about music specifically or like other stuff like in your personal life that we don't have to get into?
More about personal life, actually. Some choices.
I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, like regret is not just about content. Regret's like a human experience. So like, there's so many things that we do regret. You know, whether it's the way we treated someone, that thing that we said to somebody, a choice that we made for ourselves. Like it's not easy. Debbie, if I can ask you real quick, you talked about having a positive perspective on like regret as far as music and content. Are you able to have that same kind of positive outlook when it comes to your personal life and personal choices, or is it harder?
Yes. I mean, it's like I said before, if you have a good perspective on anything, like if a bad thing happens, because we don't have there's nobody that has a perfect day every day. There's also bad days to everyone, actually. So,
Right.
yeah. I think we should always see the positive side of things because we'll be happier and more grateful for things that we have. For example, I'm grateful to be alive and talking to you, actually. Yeah.
Me too, Debbie. Me too.
Yeah, I think we should be grateful for the things we have. For example, as I said before,
Yeah.
talking here with you, being
Yeah.
alive, having food on the fridge, having a roof,
Everything.
all those.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, gratitude is insane when you can start being grateful for what you do have. Like, you can start to recognize how blessed you are, how lucky you are, like, even though there's shit, at least there's a lot of positive stuff as well. Debbie, one more thing, because it can be really hard to be positive when you're in a negative situation. Do you feel like you were originally a positive person, or was that something that you had to practice and learn to get better at?
I had to practice. Yeah. Because, like I said before, I had depression because I had a really traumatic episode in my life, and it was really, really hard to surpass that. But thankfully, I didn't have until now. So I had like 3 years ago, I think. Yeah. So yeah,
Good
I'm
on you,
here.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you, Debbie. No,
Yeah,
thank you
you.
for saying that. I'm glad that you could say that because for my content for myself, people always see me and they always see me, smiling, laughing on social media, posting my face and everything, And I don't get to like show
that's
that.
not always. Yeah.
Exactly, Debbie. It's not always, And so whenever we can have a conversation like this and be like, hey, even though I'm joking right now, I'm laughing right now, I'm doing vocal impressions, I'm talking about this stuff, like it started from a dark place. It originated from depression. It originated from suicidal thoughts. Like, now I'm here. It's so important for us to realize that even if we're not positive right now, it's a choice we have to make. It's a practice we have to do in order to get to a better place. And Debbie, like, what helped you develop? What helped you develop that positivity? Was it like your influences? Was it just like constantly you saying, "No, I have to be positive. I have to be positive"? Was it the music you were listening to? What helped you develop that positive perspective?
Actually, some people I follow, like Gary Vee, he's super positive. For example, and removing people that are really toxic from my life.
Boom.
That's a really important thing to do, is removing people that are toxic, because you don't need that, guys. You really don't need that.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes it's better sometimes it's better to be alone but happy than being with someone and toxic and being so unhappy. So yeah.
Oh, Debbie, like, preach. That's so true. Like, and also, Debbie, like, it's actually so, I'm gonna say easy with quotation marks. It's so easy for us to get rid of those toxic people on social media specifically because, bloop, block, never see him again. Block, never see him again.
I wish we could do that in real life. But yeah.
I think it's strange.
Yeah, so you're toxic. That will be fun.
Right? Or the minute you meet someone, it's like swipe left on them, like on a dating app. It's like, no, swipe left. You're gone.
I've never been on a dating app. Actually.
No, but I mean, like, if you
I'm
could do it like in real
Yeah.
life, you meet someone, like, you swipe left in real life. It'd be like so convenient. But like, no, but Debbie, like, it's funny we're talking about this because literally just like 24 hours ago, 48 hours ago, I was reading on Twitter, people debating about the usefulness of the blocking feature on Twitter. Because some people are like, no, I'm not going to block people because I want to hear, like, other opinions. Or, no, you have to block people, otherwise it protects your mental health. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's like, blocking is a feature. And if someone's, like, giving you death threats, or someone's, like, criticizing your appearance, or someone's, like, just harassing you, like, block that motherfucker. Block them.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need that in your life, bro.
You got to protect your mental health, You got to protect your health if you want to keep being happy and get to a better place. And if you see it every single fucking day, guess what? You're not going to get to a better place.
Yeah, not at all, actually. Yeah.
So, yeah, but like Debbie said, guys, just to summarize real quick, like Debbie said, you have to have more positive influences and less negative influences. It's both of those together that helps you develop that positive perspective. Debbie, is there any tracks that you feel like have been slept on? Any tracks of yours that you put out and people haven't appreciated like to the fullest extent? Or it maybe not music, it could be like a video you posted or something like that as well, or when your merchandise, but like what's a project that you put out that you feel like has been overlooked and needs to be brought back to the limelight?
Actually, guess up, because it's totally myself, my persona, you know?
Yes.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it should have more, how can I say it, like engagement. Okay, I got the word.
Debbie.
Because funny thing about music, sorry.
No.
Funny thing about music is that I did an experiment. I don't know if you heard about Koto.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
The song, my song.
Your song.
Yeah.
Right. I heard it.
It's super simple. And people they were sharing on TikTok. They were sharing on videos on Instagram. I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. Seriously, even on YouTube and everything, it got almost 1 million in, almost all over platforms.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. But it's crazy because more simple you do something, more attraction it will have. So, yeah. It's crazy because
Debbie, thank you for saying that. Do you want to say more? Do you want to talk about it more? Because I already know what's happening there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I did like in an hour or two that song. Yeah, it was like dun, 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 So yeah, it was like messing around with my laptop's keyboard, and I was like, oh, I like that melody, and then I kept going and did that track and released the self-released. Yeah. So yeah.
Boom. My gosh.
Yeah, boom.
Fuck. I love it. Debbie, I love it. I'm so glad that you're here talking about this, because this is something that I firmly believe, and I've got to see it happen. And so to have you here, the living proof of this thesis, is so exciting. Look, and tell me if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. Just correct me, jump in if I'm wrong. The way that artists think about music and the way that audience thinks about music is not the same. And so for an artist, they're looking
it's not the same.
They're looking at it from a technical perspective. Did I hit this measure? Do I have enough layers in here? Is this the right balance of sounds? But for an audience, it's oh, this shit slaps. I like it. And so, like you're saying right here, Code is a super simplistic track, but because it hits, because it's catchy, because it's interesting, audience took it and ran with it. I think that artists are always living in their head about what an artist would approach to it, totally forgetting that the audience doesn't give a fuck about that stuff. They just want something that's easy to jam to, easy to listen to, fun to enjoy. So that's correct, right?
Yeah, because most of producers think that people will listen to how it's mixed, how I sound design that, no, those stuff. People don't give a shit about it. They want to feel the song. They don't want to know if you use samples, loops, or something like that. They don't care. Really, they really don't care. Maybe, there's only 1% in the world that are music producers.
Right.
If you start to think that most listeners want, understand what's behind the process, then you don't need to be, I gotta chase perfection. There's no perfection.
Yeah.
You gotta enjoy the routine and the process of making music,
Right. No, Debbie, exactly.
That's it. I'm enjoying.
That's the thing, and I was always a little bit cautious to talk about this because I do think we need self-awareness. You have to make music that you love, that you enjoy, right? And so if you want to make stuff, technically spectacular and all this kind of stuff, that's fine. for you. Do it for you. Don't do it for the audience. If you want to do that, that's fine. The thing is, I'm only starting to realize now is that perfectionism is not because we want to be a perfectionist necessarily. I think a lot of the time we become perfectionists, and again, it's just an early thesis, I'm not for sure on this. I think a lot of the time we become perfectionists because we're so afraid of getting judgment from the audience. And so we think that we have to make it perfect. There's no room for someone to criticize or judge us. It's not that we are a perfectionist, rather we become a perfectionist because we're afraid of getting the hate or getting the judgment from other people. So, and like back to you said, like, you know, recognizing the audience doesn't care about that, then you have to start tapping into like, oh, do I actually care about this or do I not care about this? Oh, I don't care about it. I'm just going to make this song because I enjoy it. I'm going to make it because I love it, you know, and put it out there. Enjoying the process is so important. Debbie, you've had a
and as you said, oh, sorry. As you said before, people that follow that part of perfection, it's really, really weird then when they finish a song, because they're chasing so much perfection that they start to forget how to finish a song.
That's true as well.
Yeah,
that's true as
that's what I was saying. So yeah.
Right, like,
yeah.
Look, and again, like I know it's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people talking about perfectionism. And just to give some packaging, I too used to be a massive perfectionist. You have to realize at some point that perfectionism is not efficient. And so if you really want to make it in this game of content creation or music production or artisticness, you're by being a perfectionist, you're actually limiting your success. You're not making yourself more likely to succeed, you're limiting your success because you're not being efficient. You're not putting out as much content. You're not connecting with people as much. You're giving into your ego, which is just perfectionism, you know, being revealed to your ego about that you care about what other people think about you. Like, perfectionism is not efficient, and if you want to stay in the game, if you want to build brand, if you want to build brand awareness, if you want to build like connection with the audience, then you've got to kill that perfectionism, or at least learn how to manage it and limit it better, because like I said, it's not efficient and it's not going to work in the long run. You know, you're going to burn out, you're going to, you know, get sick of it, or you're just never going to get started and never put any music out. And I see that happen way too much. And Debbie, I don't know, tell me if you can as well. I've met a lot of artists that are such perfectionists, they never put a song out. And if you don't put music out, you don't build audience, you don't build awareness. And I've just seen it happen to so many of my friends, you know? I can literally think of like 2, 3, 4 people right now who make some of the best music, and they've never put a single song out because they're like, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not good enough. I don't know. Like, have you seen that happen as well?
Sometimes it's more than good enough. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So the perfectionism, you've got to get a hold on the perfectionism, because it's not. I promise you, it's not skyrocketing your success. It's actually limiting the amount of success that you get to achieve.
A lot. Yeah.
So, and again, and by the way, real quick, to be like, I can't even like be angry at those people, because I feel like I feel a lot of pity for them, to be honest, or I feel like a lot of like sympathy for them, because I think that you know, we play the comparison game so much. And so we see some great artists who also claim to be perfectionists, or who we perceive to be perfectionists, and so we start comparing ourselves to them. You know, I think someone like, I'll pull up real quick, I think Michael Jackson was someone who was a self-proclaimed perfectionist. I think Beyonce might be another one, I'm not for sure on Beyonce. But like, you know, we see people like Michael or Beyonce, and you know, they talk about being a perfectionist, or like we see their stage and think like, oh, they must be a perfectionist, and so we want to imitate that, we want to copy that, you know. But there's so many other aspects of their lives that we don't know about that got them to where the level they got to be at before they could become, you know, perfectionist. You know, Michael Jackson was in the Jackson 5 way before he got to have his own solo career, where he was controlling all the details. So it's not like he could always be a perfectionist acting on that. The early days of Jackson 5, he had to follow what his dad was saying, what his manager was saying, or what the label was saying. You know, they weren't always perfectionists. They got to act on that perfectionism. It wasn't until later they got to actually implement their ideas and everything to the fullest extent. Wow, that was kind of interesting. Anyway, Debbie.
Yeah, and I'd really love to add something, is that big people, for example, Michael Jackson, for example, like you said, he had a really huge team behind, because people think that they create everything like I don't know, chords,
the stage, the choreography,
key progressions,
the music, the chords, the drums.
Yeah,
everything.
They need to succeed. They need a team.
Yep. Absolutely, Debbie. Absolutely. And as you and I both know, like, when you're an online music producer, you don't have a team. It's just you.
Yes, we don't. We are basically the whole bundle. We are graphic artists. We are producers. We are digital marketeers. We are video. Editors. So yeah.
And
we singers.
Yeah, singers as well. Look, I mean, and look, just real quick so people can know it, it's not just like you and me, like the Bootleg Boy, and a lot of us should know who the Bootleg Boy is. I know you do. He was on Twitter the other day, right?
Yeah,
and, like,
I was in there.
Everyone knows the Bootleg Boy, right? You know, he's got million subscribers. People like love what he does.
Yeah.
He was on Twitter, and he said that people will contact him saying, "Hey, I hope that you and your team can get in touch with me." And he was like, "What team, bro? It's just me." You know, and so
yeah.
And by the way, speaking of the Bootleg Boy, for you, Debbie, you've had a lot of support from other people. I think including the Bootleg Boys also giving you a shout out.
Yes.
You know,
for example, my song Haru no Hana.
Okay.
Is in his mix. One of his mixes. So yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
And obviously,
and actually, it was pretty simple as well.
Yep. So Bootleg Boy, you've had a lot of endorsement from other successful acts and artists and creators and people in the art scene. What does that mean to you? How does it feel whenever those people validate you or those people give you the respect that you deserve? Like, how does that make you feel?
I feel good, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes I feel like, for example, some people that get, I don't know, support from other people, like, for example, Cruella. People are like, "Yo, I'm the best. Oh no, I don't talk to you. You're too small." I really, that's so unattractive. Like, seriously, that doesn't, being an asshole doesn't work nowadays. It doesn't work. Okay, you gotta be humble, guys. You gotta be humble. Okay. Yeah, and there's another thing. For example, some people say, "Yo, you actually have a lot of fans, and you have a lot of interaction." Sometimes I do. Some other times I don't so much. But depending. Yeah. But yeah, sometimes people ask me, "What do you do? What?" and stuff like that. So
check my bio.
So they no, not at all. Actually, they asked me stuff like that. Oh, I'm not having any engagement on my posts.
I see.
And then I scroll down their Instagram, for example, a profile, and they don't reply to anyone. And I even made a post on Facebook saying, "The queen or the king of this world, you have to reply to your fans because they took their time to comment on your stuff. It means they love your content." Okay, so if you reply, they will feel close to you. You know, so you're building like a relationship. So yeah, I think I was clear enough. Sorry.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Look, like, here's how I think about it. People are everything. Like, people are everything. Like, this conversation right now is happening to two people. The person listening to this, it's another person. Social media is people.
Yeah.
You know, jobs are people. Life is nothing but people doing things for other people. Like, you know, if you want to be a successful musician, if you want to build awareness for a brand, like, whatever you want to do, it comes back down to people, because people are, like, Earth is made up of people. And so you got to care about people. You have to communicate with them. You have to show, like, listen to them, respect them, care about them. They care about you. You know, how you show that you care about them. I'll give a really quick anecdote because I think this is really cool. I went to an art gallery just yesterday got to have a conversation with somebody at the art gallery. Some guy from here in Seoul, Korean dude, and he works in like stage musicals, does like play performances, does music and stuff like that, and he uses live streaming as well. So we were talking about how COVID's kind of made it impossible for him to do plays and performances. He's had to turn to the internet now. And so he does like streaming on, I think he didn't say the platform, I think it's YouTube. It could have been Twitch instead though. And he was talking about how he's done streaming for like a few years, but because of COVID, he's gone a lot more into it as well. And he's like, I was like talking to him about that, right? And he was like, he's like, at this point, he said, like, I've become like family with my viewers, my audience, because I've been doing it for so long. They care about me so much. Which that itself is really cool because it goes to what you and me said, people are so important. And then as a follow-up, I was talking with him about how does he make money from his content. And he said that some of it comes from donations on the live streams, right? And so he's like, it's a pretty small amount of money. He's like, but however, Ben, he said just last month, I actually made $10,000 in donations from his streaming.
Wow.
Right? And it wasn't like it wasn't a flex. He wasn't trying to be,
That's a lot.
It wasn't about ego. He was like, I couldn't believe it myself. He's like, I looked at the numbers, he's like, is that a real number? And it goes back to it because he cares about his audience so much that he was communicating with them, listening with them, interacting with them, giving them value. And they just showed the love back to him. They gave him the money he needs to be able to invest in better equipment, be able to pay his bills, be able to buy food. Like, people are what enable us to exist on the internet. If we didn't have an audience on the internet, we couldn't be making this podcast right now. We couldn't be making music, and paying for our apartments, paying for our food, paying for our bills, necessities. Like, people are so important as a person-to-person thing. And then if you're also trying to build a brand or build, awareness for what you do, people are still important because the ones enabling you to do that. People are so important.
Exactly. Yeah.
Debbie, is there any specific interaction that you've had with someone of a high level, someone who respected your music or gave you a shout out? Which one of those moments were the most important for you? It could be one or two or three, but
I have too many actually, but my favorite was when Corella was the very first big artist to support me.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, that was like 4 years ago, something like that. So yeah, that has been really awesome.
Those, Debbie, why was that one the most special one for you?
Because people that know me for a bit longer, they know I love them. I've been part of the crew for a long time. So yeah, we are actually friends, like I said before. So they really know of me for a long time, like 7 years. So it's a lot. Yeah, it's not something that... And people were like, oh, she's... dragging something, and I'm like, no, they're really my friends. And Yasmin, which is one of the Corella members, she said, I know this girl for a long time. There's even a video saying that. So yeah.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's great because I think it gives you that extra boost of confidence, I don't think that
actually I want to collaborate with them, so yeah.
I hope you can. That would be an incredible collaboration.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool because for a lot of us as creators, when we first get started, there is no interaction, there is no engagement with the stuff that we do, and so we're basically making content, putting it on the internet, and it's completely quiet. I mean, I know that's the same way, I know that's how it was for me, when I first started making content, nobody watched it, nobody cared about it, nobody listened to it, right? And so those early stages, you have to have massive self-belief in terms of, I want to do this, therefore I'm doing it. But, 3, 4, 5, 6 years into it, whenever, you do get that recognition or you get, that, support from someone, it's a reminder of, oh, wow, I've been working hard all this time. I've been doing something meaningful all this time, and now I'm, being reminded because of this person, I've been doing a good job, I have been making something, beneficial with all of this. So congratulations to you, Debbie, for staying in the game and just continuing to develop.
Thank you.
What you do. It's
amazing. And actually, I would like to add something, is that everybody starts from below.
Yep.
Everyone starts with 0 followers, 0 interaction, 0 engagement.
Yep.
So don't be sad if you're just starting out. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Debbie, we have to talk about time management because it's something that's that all of us struggle with, especially in terms of priorities. At the moment right now, you've got like the oh shit face. Currently, you're balancing a full-time job as a digital marketer, if I'm not mistaken, and also building your own personal brand as far as music and social media content. How challenging is that?
Yes, it is challenging, but since I'm working at home, I shouldn't do this, but I have like a window with a live stream.
Yep.
It's not a live stream, it's like a web call, okay? And the other with FL Studio open. So I'm making music at the same time as listening, to my voice and stuff.
Yep. No, I mean, like, it is hard. Like, Debbie, real quick, just give us a few specifics, if it's okay with you. What does your time look like? How much time do you spend with your job? How much time do you have, like, for yourself? Like your
8 hours.
How many? 8?
Yeah.
Okay, about 8 hours of the job, right?
8.
8 hours for your job. And obviously, you're going to need, like, I don't know how much sleep you normally get, but I'm going to assume it's between 6 to 9 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours, always. Because my brain...
No, I'm glad that you get 8
and-
hours because most of us don't. So it's healthy to get 8 hours.
Oh.
Good. You should get
Guys.
8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got 8 hours for work, 8
Yes,
hours for
definitely.
sleeping, and then 8 hours for everything else that you do. I mean, so many of us in that same situation where we have a job that takes us, 5, 6, 7, 8, or even 9, or sometimes more hours a day to do our job. And then obviously we have to have like sleep. We have to like clean our houses. You'll only have like, 2, 3, 4 hours for like actual creation.
Yeah.
What tips do you have that help you specifically, Debbie, that help you manage your time or manage your emotions or manage your like creativity? Like, how do you balance it all?
Yeah, like for example, I like to be organized. So I have a software or application called To-Do List, which means you need to manage everything. Like what's the most important thing to do, you do it first, and then you do a list. Okay, so yeah. Sometimes we have that thing like checking social media here, talking, watching stuff that doesn't matter. So while we're spending like 1 hour or 2, maybe we should do something more important, like finishing a track or I don't know, something like that, or take care or working out.
Exactly.
I like to work out as well, so
Yeah.
I do work out like for example 30 minutes to an hour per day. So yeah,
For you, Debbie.
it is good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Debbie, real
Discipline is everything.
quick, I'm gonna ask, like, is it just discipline, or is it like just like a natural drive to do it? Because like I'm gonna put myself on the spotlight here. Like even though I know getting 8 hours of sleep is the best idea for my mental health and everything, even though I know that, I rarely listen to that. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Anyway, 6 hours of sleep, let's go. So, like, for you, as far as like exercise and sleeping enough, like, is it purely discipline? Is it just experience that's like told you like, oh no, I have to have this? Is it like a practice? Like, how do you stay so disciplined in terms of like exercise and sleep and everything?
It's practice, and self-discipline as well. Like I said, discipline is very required because if you're not, you'll start missing out, you'll start to fail a lot. And I'm telling that I love to fail as well, because failing is a good thing to improve yourself. But my failing in this matter doesn't have anything to do with that. It's more failing like you'll start to think, oh my god, I should do that before.
Yeah.
Not this. I've spent too much time on social media. I spent too much time watching videos on YouTube or animes or stuff like that. It's good to watch stuff to entertain ourselves because we need, okay?
Right.
But not too much. Not too much.
How do you build discipline, Debbie? Like,
Yeah.
what things help you to build discipline about like managing that stuff?
Like I said before, I have an app called To-Do
Okay,
List, so I follow.
just follow
Yeah,
the to-do list.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Every day, yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, if it works for you, I'm so
I have to
glad it
read
works
as
for you.
well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also like, I agree with you, Debbie. Like, I also use a to-do list. I make one every single night before I go to bed. I'm like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? Type it in. I try to follow it as much as I can. So I do recommend to-do lists for the audience. I'm not sure if it works for everybody, but works for Debbie, works for me a lot of the time as well. And then obviously, like Debbie said as well, practice is also very key just to get better
Right
at it.
here, around here.
There we got it.
This
I see it.
thing.
Yep. I mean, even
Yeah.
for myself, like, I just use I'll actually just use the Notes app like on my phone. I'll just use like the Notes app on Apple, but whatever works for people. To-do lists are extremely effective. Also, Debbie, as a digital
Yeah.
marketer, like that is directly related to like building personal brand. Was that like a conscious choice on your part? Did you like think like, oh, I want to be a digital marketer so that I can like get better at like what I do as well? Or was it just a coincidence?
Yes, totally the second option. It wasn't. Because I'm really strategic in on everything I do. Because, okay, if I learn this, because we should learn a lot of things, and producers should learn how to market themselves.
Yep.
So it's really important. Yeah.
It is.
So yeah, so learning digital marketing was really good for me, So
Debbie,
I'll
real quick-
profit that to do
Yeah.
actually to create content
Yep.
later.
Precisely.
Later.
So you get income from it, you get tips you can use for yourself, tips you can give to other people as well. You've given a lot of like tips already for people, but I will ask you again just to make sure we didn't miss anything. What mistakes do you see a lot of musicians making when it comes to marketing, and what can they do better?
Like for example, when people do ads, run ads on Instagram or Facebook, the age range is totally out of control. They do like 18 years to 65, which is not
effective.
It's a really no, not at all. It should be, for example, for trap music, a lot of people listen to trap music. So basically, the age range is between 18 and 24, more or less like that. And the cities, you should see the cities, the countries that you listen to that music style, genre, whatever. The most, the genre as well, the gender actually, sorry. What else? There's so many factors that will.
Different elements.
Yeah.
That you can get into.
Yeah. And actually, the devices that people use. For example, people use more smartphones rather than laptops or TVs or whatever. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Debbie,
Everything has an impact.
It's
Yeah.
a really, I guess, like to summarize that part there, like try to be a little more, be narrow rather than wide when it comes to marketing. It's usually a good idea, just like to recognize and build awareness around like who's actually listening to your content. Because like Debbie said, like it's don't put 18 to 60, try 18 to 25. And then obviously you can do your own experiment as well. I'm talking to the audience right now. Like, the audience can do your own experimentation. Try 8 and 25, see how it goes for you. Try 25 to 30, see how it works for you. You can also do your own kind of like testing to figure out what your audience is specifically. Debbie, I think it's too much to dig into today. But if you're cool with it, I'd love to sit down with you later and do like a more in-depth look at like marketing and everything for audiences, because like I have all these questions right now as we're talking about this that are a little bit unrelated to the overall episode. So I'm not gonna ask it right now. But maybe we can link up on that later. Monetizing content. We'll talk about this one real quick. How important is it for you, Debbie, to monetize your content?
Okay, so this is really a sensitive topic because, for example, creators don't like when songs have content ID because they have copyright strikes.
Yeah.
So we have to think that or we remove it, or we still have the same thing, the content ID. So, yeah. So sometimes it means losing money, but having more fans. So I think always the positive side of things. So yeah.
Yeah. yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about in this section as well, as far as like monetization and marketing and everything. You know, I think that for today, I'm not gonna like get into this conversation today because there's so much that we could talk about with it. So I think for now, we're gonna kind of leave it at that. I want to bring the conversation a little bit more back to you, and especially because we've been recording for a long time already. Debbie, I want to ask one more thing, like to kind of wrap up like this current section of everything right here. You know, we've talked a lot about, you know, content output. We've talked a lot about like mental health and all and that sort of thing. So I wanted to bring it back to mental health just for a quick second to kind of wrap up this section of the interview. I know for myself, in my own personal journey and having conversation with people, I feel like things such as self-esteem is a big one. You know, how we think about ourselves, self-confidence, believing in ourselves. I think these are two of like the biggest kind of character traits that people need is self-esteem, confidence, even self-awareness as well. For yourself, Debbie, I'm really curious, what are the character traits that have been most important for you to have or to build on in your artistic journey?
Oh my god, how to answer that question? Okay. Well, of course, looking good will have some huge impact on your brand. For example, people know me that it's me because I always use like a beanie.
Yes.
I wear a beanie.
Okay.
I wear black, so I have curly hair.
Yeah.
So that's my brand, okay? It's not only the brand as logotype, the brand is yourself as well, so yeah. And actually, I would like to point out something that I've read before. I bought a book talking about TikTok, and I was a little bit offended by it. Because the girl who wrote that said, to succeed on TikTok, you must be pretty. And I was like, what?
Shit, what?
What?
What? And that was
all?
I mean, like, used that as her thesis. That's crazy.
It had more stuff, of course.
Well, I mean, to back
of course,
it up and
that
like,
people that,
like
yeah, of course,
fallacy.
people that have more makeup or whatever, they have more views, I think. I don't know. But, you know, writing that on a book that people have read that before, I was like, what? Is she insane or something? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I feel like, and just real quick, like to anyone who heard that just now, I thought it was true. Like, you know, obviously me and Debbie disagree with that. I think it's a misunderstanding of the data. It's like that's what I would attribute it to. You know, like.
Yeah.
I mean, like, maybe there might be a study that says if you're more attractive, like, how do you even measure, like, what's more attractive? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, you know.
Yeah, especially because beauty is super subjective. For example,
right?
I can be pretty for someone, and the other I can be ugly. So
yeah, it's like totally subjective. So, but like I said, a misunderstanding of the information. Like, success on social media doesn't have, like, I would say anything to do, at least very small to do with your appearance. It's more about like what your message is. It's about how you treat people. It's about, you know, if you're enjoying it, you know, even if you're like the most quote unquote handsome person in the world, most beautiful person in the world, like if you don't like making TikTok, it doesn't fucking matter if you have 1 million or 2 million followers. Like, you don't like it, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in that same vein though, Debbie, like, you know, a lot of people do get tripped up on that, like, you know, their appearance or their insecurities and things of that nature, and it's all kind of adversity that we face, you know, in being in the digital age and kind of like, you know, pioneering this new level that we're at with humanity. If you're comfortable talking about it, like, I'd love to hear if you've had to experience sexism or discrimination.
Yes,
your music.
We girls get a lot.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Talk about it.
Okay, I'm more accepted. Okay, but for example, I still receive, oh, you're having more success than I do because you're a girl, and I'm like, no, because I've worked my my ass off.
Like check
Okay.
the page, they have like no content posted at all. It's like, it's like, dude,
Yeah,
look
I
what they're
mean-
doing compared to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I sometimes I'm like reading the messages and I'm like, what? Is this guy insane or something? Yeah.
Unbelievable. How does it make
But,
you, how does it make you
yeah.
feel though, Debbie? Like when you see that content, is it easy for you to recognize like that it's just pure bullshit, or does it kind of like mess with you a little bit?
Sometimes it messes with me because I really get upset with those kind of words, you know. But I'm not the worst one because I've heard that some girls use that other people say, "Oh, you use ghost production. You didn't do this. You didn't do that," or "Oh, you maybe slept with this guy or slept with that one or something like that. That's why you're so successful," or you know those stuff like that. And I'm like, what the hell? That's basically jealousy.
Yeah,
Right.
no, it's jealousy.
At least I think, yeah.
insecurity, it's judgment, it's hate,
It's a bunch of things.
sexism. Like it's wow, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. No, Debbie, like I'm
Actually, never had that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Thankfully.
thankfully, but no, you're right. Like it does happen. It's not hard to see it happen, and especially like lately, you know, it might be a little bit too deep to get into right now, but I will mention it. Like we've had a lot of sexual assault accusations coming up in the EDM scene. You know, the last couple of years with different artists and everything. You know, it's a conversation that we need to have more and more about, so we can expose it and then find ways to prevent it. You know, and address it because there's so much stuff that happens, you know, behind the scenes or happens secretly that needs to be exposed so we can adjust it and make corrections and, you know, give people a heads up about, you know, be careful of this person, be careful of this tactic, you know, be careful of this this offer or whatever, because yeah, there's so much that does happen behind the scenes. Oh gosh, Debbie, this has been an incredible conversation. I kind of wanted to like, cause we talked about like your background, we talked about where you are right now. I want to look real quick, you know, take a few minutes to like look at like what's next for you. The most recent song you put out was called "Celebrate." It's a song that deals up, it talks
Yes.
about like hate comments and dealing with that. And give us real quick, like what's the backstory on that single? Was that something that like a personal inspiration you wanted to talk about? Was the singer someone like to say, hey, can we talk about the subject? Like what's the backstory on "Celebrate"?
Actually, God Mode was the one who wrote this song. I mean, the lyrics,
Right.
not the song actually. But yeah, he's an amazing rapper. So yeah,
So
he's
did,
getting famous.
so
yeah.
did you were you the one
Yeah.
that reached out to him? Did he reach out to you?
Service.
Like who put that collaboration together?
Sorry, I didn't
So
get it.
on that one, did you reach out to him or did he reach out to you? Like how did the song start taking place?
Oh, actually, I made the song, okay, but then I didn't like the breakdown, so I've reached the DARP, which is another producer from Portugal. So he made the breaks, and I did the build up and the drop.
Cool.
So he reached God Mode to rap on the song, and voila,
Amazing.
that was the song.
It's a super
Yeah.
cool song. Super cool song. I love the energy behind it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've got to talk about that again, like later, different episode. Because something I noticed about you is that you're so consistent with your musical output. So we have to dig into that like later on in the future. Talk about how you're so consistent.
Yeah, almost have the year all complete.
Yeah, you
Almost.
put out at least one song a month, sometimes two or around that amount. So I want to hear more about that later on. But for today,
Yeah.
just like for today, real quick, because we talked about music marketing and everything, we're at kind of an interesting place with social media platforms because we're seeing, you know, new platforms that are becoming more successful, whether that's, well, I guess LinkedIn's like more of an old platform. It's become a lot more talked about. TikTok's a little more recent, you know, last 5 years, but it's become, you know, highly recognized very quickly. Clubhouse is another one. So we have platforms that are becoming, you know, more recognized and more utilized. We also have platforms that are trying to reinvent themselves. Instagram's an obvious one, you know, rolling out the Instagram stories. Now they're doing Reels, Instagram TV. They've continually tried to, you know, add more features to make their platform more attractive. And even Twitter, I'm not sure if you saw this or not, Twitter's launching some new features to their platform as well. Super Life, there's gonna be like monetized content. There's Fleets as well. I'm curious for you, Debbie, which platforms are you most comfortable producing on is the first part of the question. Second part is like, which platforms do you want to be more creative on? So which ones do you like to use the most right now? And is there any
Instagram
you use more? Yep.
Okay, so I prefer Instagram because it's youthful, social media.
Yep.
But I really need to create a TikTok because I don't have yet.
Really? How interesting.
No, I didn't.
Can I ask why not,
yet.
Debbie? Can I ask why not real quick? Like for you, like why have you not gotten a TikTok yet?
I think because I didn't have time yet.
Yeah, I didn't have time. Right.
But yeah, as soon as I'll have, I'll start to create more content to show how I do stuff, to teach people.
Yep.
Because there's always people wanting to know how to do some stuff, so that works very well. And also funny and making some, how can I say, like dances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For example,
type content.
For example, that song you translated to that one is super.
By the way,
cool
I didn't
to
translate
dance.
any songs, guys. I had someone else do it for me. I hooked up.
Yeah. Okay, you got it.
I don't want to like
You
take
got
any
it.
credit for it as well. Like, I can't translate stuff, but
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, Debbie, by the way, like you're totally valid by saying, you know, it's about time, because it's the same situation for me. Like I have no shortage of ideas about what kind of content I want to do. It purely comes down to a matter of, do I have enough time to create, edit, release, and promote this content? You know, so even though I know, like, okay, I want to have more YouTube, more TikTok, more Instagram, more Twitch, like, even though I know that, it's like, oh, but I only have 5 free hours a day. Yeah, I can't do all of those, you know? So it comes down to time and having a team or not. So what projects are you working on right now? Which projects do you have in the works right now?
You mean music-wise?
It's up to you, like whatever you want to talk about. I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes. Like you might have some kind of big master plan in mind, but like right now at this moment, like for the next like a month, I guess.
I always have.
Yeah, I thought so.
Darling, I always have. Bring me a bottle of water. I was joking. Okay, don't kill me, guys. Okay.
I will bring the water, my dear. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Spill whatever you can.
I actually have water here.
Cheers, I do too. Let's drink.
Okay, so you've heard some of my IDs before.
I have.
So yeah, that's what's planned.
I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Let me just say, everyone, like that shit is fire. She sent me like some IDs and legitimately, I go back and listen to that playlist like, you know, maybe once a day or every few days. I'm like, damn, I gotta hear that song she didn't release yet, and I'll go back and like listen to it again. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I gotta send you the Dropbox link to you so you can
I'll listen to that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so you have like about like 6 songs, 5, 6, 7 songs that are almost gonna be released soon, I'm assuming. And then what about for the rest of 2021, Debbie? Like, what's on your mind for the rest of 2021, especially if COVID becomes less of a
Create
concern?
content.
Create content. Okay, all right, very good.
That's my first goal actually, because I want to reach 10,000 followers at least on Instagram. Yeah, because I want to have that push-up thing on stories. I don't have that, and that's a pain in the ass.
Oh gosh, yeah. Right, swipe up. Okay. Awesome.
Oh yeah. Swipe up. Sorry.
No, you get. I totally get what you're talking about. I know it. Like we're both on Instagram. We know what we're talking about here. So okay, all right.
Yes,
so a lot more content
exactly,
on TikTok and Instagram, just to building more awareness and everything.
Yes.
Debbie.
I think I would.
Is there anything else besides content? Like obviously music and then social media content. That's the only 2 things to focus on, right? Merch. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing some graphic design. I'm drawing myself.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
maybe you've seen the picture, the profile picture on Instagram.
Sure, of
It
course.
was made by me.
Oh.
So
okay.
yeah,
Nice. Yeah, you have a few like.
it looks like me actually.
It does. It's beautiful art. You have a few pieces of art on your Instagram page. I was curious if you did those or if it's like a commission. Because you have a few different pieces of art on your Insta. Let me see if I can find
Actually,
it.
I gotta watch because I
know,
don't
I have to,
remember
go back and look at it
what
now,
I
right?
do.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Yeah, your profile picture, you definitely did that one. What about for what about for some of your album covers, Debbie? Like, for example, the Haru no
Yeah,
Hana
I
one.
do as well.
You did the Haru no Hana one as well, then?
It was me.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so Debbie, that was awesome. I always ask the guests to leave a message to themselves of 1 year in the future. So to the Strybo of 2022, what would you tell yourself?
Girl, keep going, because good things will what? Will shine, will appear, will happen, you know.
No doubt.
Always trust the process. And yeah, basically that's it.
Awesome. I love it. By the way, hello to future
Yeah,
Strybo. No, I'm like, it's gonna happen, like, no doubt though, Strybo, because like you've just been in the game for so long. And so like even right now you still have so much motivation, so much energy to keep creating. And so I know that without a doubt, you're gonna take action on the stuff you talked about today, putting out more content, connecting with people more, dropping music. And so like, especially as COVID lets up, I have no doubt in my mind that you're gonna be making moves that are gonna put you in even more so in like the public spotlight where people can recognize like your ability and your talent and your spirit and your energy. So don't give up. Like you said, believe in yourself. It's gonna work out. Debbie, thank you for having this amazing conversation. There's always one last section of the show, and this is the speed round. I'm gonna ask a question with a quick response. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Favorite color?
Black.
Favorite food?
Ramen.
Favorite day of the week?
Saturday.
Favorite movie?
Actually, I don't know how is it called in English. Sorry, but it's like two girls. No, actually, two guys that are cops, but then they disguise as girls, and they're blonde.
You
know that movie?
Girls. It's called White Girls, right? Or...
Yes. White girls. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So funny.
Favorite song at the moment?
KDA Villain.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I don't have. I like my pleasures. Everything is a pleasure in life.
Love it. What countries do you want to visit?
What's up?
What countries do you want to visit?
Oh, Japan and Korea. Yeah.
What languages do you
America.
speak right now? Right now, what languages do you speak?
English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and a little bit of Japanese. So yeah.
Name one person alive or dead that you want to have a conversation with.
Oh, Corella.
And how do you want people to think of you?
Producer that makes great music.
Right, and we're clear. Fantastic. Oh, God.
Yes.
Oh, Debbie, you are amazing. I love everything you talked about.
Thank
The
you.
things we got into. We legitimately, we did not even have enough time to talk about everything that I want to get into with you. So, please, let's do it.
We can talk on private.
Please. And Strybo, like real quick, is there
Yeah.
anything that you want to say to the audience in closing? Any last message you want to send?
Okay, actually believe on yourselves, because if you don't, nobody will. Okay, and work hard, but not too hard, but smart. Work smart rather, and work hard. And also try to, if you're an artist, try to be humble. Reply to your fans as much as you can, and study marketing, please.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Everyone, that's the advice right there. That's the fucking playbook right there. So, I mean, like, please do take action on everything Strybo talked about. One of the cool things that you guys can take from this conversation today is that not only does Strybo have the mindset, not only does she have the mentality, she's also been implementing it. She's been taking action on it, and it's so cool to see her succeed as a female in this industry, you know, just like breaking milestones and achieving more success and recognition. She completely fucking deserves it. Please follow her on her journey. Go check out her social medias. You know, reach out to her. Tell her what this interview meant to you. Continue to support her because I am so excited to see everything she has yet to do. Everyone, thank you for watching today's episode. We will both see you on social media because we're so active there. Take care. Have a great night, and talk to you all soon.